What's up, people? All right, welcome to Economics with Mr. Riley. Theme for my class has always been get money. All right, and I'm going to help you do that. But first, we have to learn the basics about money, and we have to take it all the way back to day one. All right, so let's start off with this concept. There's no such thing as a free lunch. All right, everything comes with a cost. Trust and believe, nothing is free. All right, that McDonald's burger that you get, buy one, get one free, no sir. All right, that cost is dispersed. And trust and believe, when you add on the drink and the fries to go with that other free that free hamburger, is no longer free. All right, so let's understand this concept. The lunch you eat in the cafeteria, you think that's free? Absolutely not. Mr. Riley pays for your lunch. You're welcome. But anyways, let's get to it. All right, today we're going to discuss Chapter 1, Economics, what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. We're going to learn about scarcity, all right, and its impact on cost, its impact on demand, as well as supply. All right, so we're going to get right to it. Let's go ahead and jump to our next slide. This section, what is economics? All right. So we're going to start with scarcity. So what I want you guys to do at this point in time is take out your pen and paper, notebook, whatever it is that you're using. All right. And matter of fact, let's take it all the way back. Grab a chem chart. All right. And I want you to write down scarcity, needs, and want. All right. So if Mr. Wright is moving too fast, don't worry. I'll slow it down for you. Psych. All right. Keep up. All right. That's what it's about. All right, scarcity is a condition that results from society not having enough resources to produce all of the things that people want. All right, so we understand that there's a zillion people. So we have to determine with the limited amount of resources, how we're going to provide for all of these people. All right, there's no way, right? So we have to find other means. We have to look at how supply is impacted by that and what it does to demand. All right. So just keep that in mind. Scarcity is the condition that exists from not having enough resources to take care of all of the things that people want. Okay. Another concept, needs. All right. You often hear a woman say, I need this, I need that. Well, you know what you need? You need a job. All right. So we're going to start right there. Needs is a basic requirement for survival. All right. Such as food, clothes, shelter, water. These are things that we have to have in order to survive. All right. That is a need. Okay. Now, a want. Some people sit up and say, I want this, I want that. And it's simply something we would like to have, but is not necessarily required. All right. Hey, for instance, I would like a 5-bedroom house. But most people would sit up and say, well, do you really need a 5-bedroom house? It's just you and your son. So, yes, I want, but don't need. Okay? Now we understand scarcity, we understand needs, and now we understand wants. All right, so the three basic questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Society is faced with these three questions, and they use different means and different methods to answer them. And we're going to discuss that later in how all of these questions are answered by different economies. All right, by mixed economies, market economies, and command economies. All right, but these are the three basic questions that every economy seeks to answer. All right, so keep that in mind. What to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. All right, the next concept we're going to cover is the factors of production. All right, now there are 4 factors of production. All right, and one of them being land, capital, labor, and entrepreneur. All right, so when we think of land, think of natural resources such as water, mountains, forests. Anything that is a natural resource is considered land. All right, and those factors that go into producing products. So, for instance, land, you might grow crop, agriculture, right? So that would be a factor of production. All right, the next one, capital. Now, capital is the equipment that we use along with land. So we talked about land, we talked about agriculture. So the capital in this case would be the tools used, the tractors and other resources used to pull the crop from the land. The next one would be the entrepreneur. Now, the entrepreneur in this case would actually be the farmer himself, all right? The one who actually owns the farm, okay? And the laborers would be those individuals he employed to help him maintain the farm, do the picking and the planting and so forth, all right? Now, one of the things I like to do to help our students, here at school become familiar and remember it, we can think of it in these terms, all right? Our factors of production. The land would be the land in which Crim High School sits on, all right? The capital would be the equipment that the teachers use, the Corinthian boards, the computers that you're using to view this webcast, desks, all right? All of those are equipment and part of capital that the teacher uses to get their lesson across to you, all right? Entrepreneur in this case would actually be Miss Parker, our principal, all right? So she would represent entrepreneur. And the laborer, that means the workers, all right, that would represent the teachers, myself, okay? So there you have it, the 4 factors of production as they relate to Crim High School, all right? Now we cover goods versus services. I know it's a lot of stuff, and it seems like Mr. Riley is going really fast, but I know your attention span is really short, all right? So I have to make sure that I get this information across. But you can do one thing, rewind, pause, and go back. All right. So with that being said, goods versus services. All right. So when we think about goods, we want to think about things that are tangible, something we can touch. All right. Now, when we think about durability, all right, we talk about goods that are durable. They last 3 years or longer. So an example of durability would be the desk, the board, the classroom itself, anything that's used on a continuous basis for periods of 3 years or longer is durable, all right? Now, what's not durable, all right, is some of you guys' bundles, all right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, all right? Them bundles do not last 3 years through constant use. So we would say that would be a non-durable, all right? Because remember now, we're talking about something that lasts 3 years while it's continually being used. And them bundles, at the one time, most of them are thrown in the garbage. But anyways, back to economics, all right? So when we sit up and we think about non-durable, think about those products that last 3 years or less, all right, that are continuously used. So for example, that would be a crayon, a pencil, a pen, something we're constantly using that lasts less than 3 years. That would be a non-durable good. So keep that in mind. So services, when we think of services, think about when we go to restaurants, all right, where someone is providing a service to us. All right, when we go and we get our shoes shined, those of us that do, that would be a service that's being provided to us. All right, some would say that I, Mr. Riley, am providing a service to you in terms of teaching you about economics. That too is a service. All right, now on to utility versus value. Now, utility is just simply a fancy word that means satisfaction. All right. You remember the song? I can't get no da-na-na, satisfaction, da-na-na. All right. Anyways, you may or may not know that song. But for those of you who do, you know what I'm talking about. But utility means satisfaction. And in order for something to have utility, all right, it must be of satisfaction to the person who possesses it. All right. So keep that in mind. Utility gives satisfaction. Now, for instance, these glasses, all right, I need them in order to read. So they give me a level of satisfaction. So therefore, they have utility. All right. Now, value. In order for something to have value, it must also have utility, and it must also be scarce. All right. In order for it to have monetary value. All right. So keep that in mind. In order for something to have monetary value, it must have utility, and it must, all right, be scarce, okay? So we've already talked about scarcity, all right? It means it's not enough of that product, all right? And what that does is that it causes demand to shoot up. So keep that in mind, all right? So value, and in order for something to have value, it must have utility, and it must be scarce, all right? Outstanding.